video I wanted to do a super like casual sit down kind of chit chat video. So basically I wanted to talk about one thing in particular, and that is LVH, or left ventricular hypertrophy. I started having problems with my heart, like my heartbeat, in the summer, back in like August, and at the time we had ruled it stress because of my tonsils. That is a whole other story. That's a whole other entire video that I will do about the problems I had with my tonsils being 22 and having your tonsils taken out and the recovery process and everything like that. I will do a whole video soon, very, very soon about that, because I am still technically in recovery. We had kind of just rolled it to not eating properly because I was unable to eat soft and solid foods for a very long time. So we kind of just attributed that to like lack of proper nutrition. And it was kind of when things got really bad during the recovery of my tonsils that there was a concern for my heart. I had what they call a secondary hemorrhage with my tonsils. Basically that means it's after the 24-48 hour mark where you typically bleed. Mine was 17 days after surgery, and the big concern there was, why was my heart rate so high? They thought it was just because I was in shock, really. I was losing a lot of blood. I didn't understand what was going on, and just not once did either emergency department do an EKG just to check, or did they ever page cardio just to check. They kind of just left it. And so when I saw my surgeon again after being admitted in hospital and everything like that, I asked her to do an EKG, to send a rec and have an EKG done. Now where I live, I had requested an EKG back in August. I was still waiting for a letter. I've still waited for a letter from cardio, and I've still waited for phone calls for appointments. They have rescheduled 3 times on me, and so I was like, that's it, you know, like I'm just gonna go a different avenue and do it. I was in Winnipeg. I had my EKG done that day. The results came back and had been seen by a cardiologist the next day, and they had an answer, which was left ventricular hypertrophy. And so what does that mean? It basically means that the left ventricle of the heart, so the pumping chamber, is thickened. I can show you a picture because I didn't understand what that meant. So as you can see, here's the left ventricle, and here's what it's supposed to look like on a normal heart. This is what mine looks like. Mine's like swollen or thickened or enlarged. I cannot figure out what caused it. It can be due to hypertension or high blood pressure, which I don't have. I was at the doctor's, like my family doctor, last week, like 10 days ago-ish. It was a Friday, and like my blood pressure is bang on. It's 120/80. It moves up and down a little bit depending on what I'm going through, depending what medication I'm on, but my blood pressure has been normal my entire life. Never had problems with it. Because of tonsils, I lost a significant amount of weight. So it being related to like high cholesterol or anything like that, I don't have it. I never have. I do have a problem with my liver, but that is a completely separate thing, and that is correcting itself. And a lot of that too is diet and exercise, which I do, but because of this heart thing, it's a big mess, and basically I can't work out and I'm going crazy. It's not really due to weight gain or weight loss. in particular. It could be a genetic thing. Another thing that we kind of thought it could be caused, that could have caused this, was back in the summer I was really into fitness. And when I wasn't at work, I was at the gym, and I was at the gym going hard. And so I was taking pre-workout at the gym or before the gym, drinking lots of water, and then I was doing protein after to keep that muscle. I want to say I didn't do it for very long. I mean, it wasn't like a year, or it wasn't even 6 months really. It was more just summer. And we're kind of thinking maybe the pre-workout, just because it's caffeine and it's supposed to give you energy. It's like a stimulant, really. We thought maybe that had something to do with it. But really, when I sit down, I close my eyes and I think this all started when I was told it wasn't safe for me to be eating solid and soft foods, because the amount of airway space that I had because of how swollen the tonsils were was very minimal. Like, I wasn't getting enough of a breath in, so my oxygen was a little bit off. And we're thinking maybe that's what's caused it, or the lack of nutrition really has caused it, or maybe it's something genetic that I'm starting with, or it could be like a transient thing that'll come and go. But with LVH, there becomes, especially in females, pregnancy is something that may or may not happen depending on the severity of it, if it's transient, like if it comes or goes. And so I was told by my gynecologist that if this was something prominent, like enough that it wasn't gonna just go away, my chances of pregnancy, it come and go. He explained it to me was, if it's really bad, you're not going to want to get pregnant, because it's too much on your heart, and you don't want to have to choose between baby and you. So they don't recommend getting pregnant for women where their heart condition is very prominent and very severe. In the less severe cases, in the mild to moderate, it's, yeah, you can get pregnant, yeah, but usually about 5-6 months during that pregnancy, you're off work, you're bed rest, you don't want to do anything to jeopardize your health or the baby's health, and they do C-section, which I'm totally okay with. Another thing that they take into consideration is the birth control you're on. Now, I don't take a pill, I don't get the shot, I have Mirena. The way he explained it, my gynecologist explained it to me, is cardiologists typically don't like Mirena, and they will try to they tend to push you to get it taken out, because it can cause blood clots. Now, really, the chances of that are just slim. I haven't had a problem with it. I've had it for years. I'm good. I don't think it's causing what's going on with my heart. So what it feels like to have Lvh, like, you know there's something not right. Like, there are days where I could be laying down or just sitting down, and I can start to feel my heart, the sound of my heartbeat in my ears, and I can be like watching TV or doing something else. You literally can feel it beating in your chest. I lay down flat on my back, I can see my heartbeat here, like on my chest, and I can see it like kind of like off my stomach here. I can see it, and you can literally like watch it go like this. There are days where if I'm like holding my phone, I can watch it go like this. Boom, 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 boom. Other days, some days are better than others. Like, I have good heart days and bad heart days. So that is kind of what it's like living with LVH. It's scary. And so I thought I would just make this video to educate, really, to talk about it. you know, maybe there's other people out there who have gone through similar things, or can provide suggestions or feedback on how to live with this if it's something that I have to live with. And if you yourself are going through it, then know that you're not alone. Like, there are resources out there. It's about finding out what they are and utilizing them. And yeah. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe. I think the button's somewhere down here. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.